A Margosaurus was a giant sauropod with 2 rows of spines down its back. The spines may have been attached to one another by skin, creating the appearance of a huge sail on its back. Scientists believe the spines on an Amargasaurus could have helped defend against predators, communicate with other Amargasaurus, or control body temperature. Amargasaurus was a giant sauropod. Amargasaurus was a sauropod. Sauropods were 4-legged herbivores known for their small heads, big long bodies, and large appetites. While Amargasaurus looked like other sauropods with its long neck and small head, it was very unique. It had 2 rows of tall spines down its neck and back. Amargasaurus. Brachiosaurus had longer front limbs than hind limbs. Many paleontologists think that it held its neck straight up like a modern giraffe to reach leaves high in the trees. Brachiosaurus had a rounded crest made of thin bone attached to its snout. Scientists believe the crest was likely used to show off. Brachiosaurus, like other plant-eating animals, had broad teeth that would have been great for stripping vegetation off trees. Brachiosaurus fossils were found in both North America and Africa. This enormous sauropod was very slow-moving, slower than any carnivore of its time. Brachiosaurus. Cryolophosaurus was discovered on the southern continent of Antarctica. Today, Antarctica is extremely cold and icy, but during the age of the dinosaur, Antarctica was much warmer with lush green forest. Cryolophosaurs had an odd bony crest on its head that looked like a funny hairdo. Scientists nicknamed this dinosaur Elvisaurus because his furrowed crest resembled the hairdo of Elvis Presley. Cryolophosaurus was discovered on the Cryolophosaurus was a large meat-eating dinosaur that lived during the Jurassic time period. During the Jurassic, Antarctica was closer to the equator and was part of a large continent called Pangaea. Cryolophosaurus was a relatively large dinosaur that grew up to 25 feet long. It probably walked on its hind legs, had small forearms, and might have resembled Allosaurus. Cryolophosaurus. Daspletosaurus lived in North America during the late Cretaceous period. It is closely related to its much larger cousin, Tyrannosaurus. Daspletosaurus means frightful lizard. This huge carnivore grew to a length of 26 to 30 feet. With its massive skull and rows of sharp teeth, this would have been a dinosaur to be frightened of. Displeta- Daspletosaurus was a meat-eating tyrannosaur. Like T-Rex, it too was the top predator of its time, though it lived long before Tyrannosaurus rex. Recent research shows that Daspletosaurus and other tyrannosaurs grew quite slowly when small, then went through a major growth spurt in their teen years. Daspletosaurus. Eoraptor lived during the Triassic period and is one of the oldest known dinosaurs. It belongs to a group of dinosaurs called theropods, which also includes the Tyrannosaurus. Fossils of Eoraptor have been found in Argentina, making scientists believe that this dinosaur lived over 225 million years ago in the Triassic time period. Eoraptor were about 3 feet tall and weighed about 20 pounds. Standing on their two hind legs and three-toed feet, they were very fast runners, which helped them catch prey. Eoraptor's hands had 5 digit-like fingers. The 3 middle digits were the longest and had large claws that were helpful in handling prey. Eoraptor. Fabrosaurus was a plant-eating dinosaur that lived in Africa during the Jurassic time period. Fabrosaurus was a small animal, only about 3 feet long, that moved around on its hind legs. Fabrosaurus was a plant eater, or herbivore. Like many other dinosaur herbivores, Fabrosaurus had a beak up front for grabbing plants and teeth behind for slicing them up. Fabrosaurus. Gallimimus was a theropod dinosaur that lived in Asia during the Cretaceous time period. Gallimimus belongs to a group of theropods called ornithomimids, which look a lot like ostriches living today. Gallimimus. Paleontologists aren't sure what Gallimimus ate. Some think they were herbivores, feeding only on plants. Others think they were omnivores, eating small animals and plants. Just like ostriches, Gallimimus were fast runners. Gallimimus. Hadrosaurus was a duck-billed hadrosaur that lived in North America during the Cretaceous time period. Growing to about 30 feet long, Hadrosaurus was a giant. It may have walked on 4 legs when moving slowly and 2 legs when going faster. Hadrosaurus was a plant eater, or an herbivore. The name Hadrosaurus means sturdy lizard. It was the first dinosaur to have its skeleton mounted in a museum. Hadrosaurus. One of the first dinosaurs discovered, Iguanodon was a large dinosaur that lived in Europe during the early part of the Cretaceous time period. Iguanodon had a beak for cropping plants, walked slowly on 4 legs or quickly on 2 legs, and its hands could be used for walking, grasping, and perhaps even piercing. One Iguanodon was a large plant-eating dinosaur. Iguanodon hands were like tools. The middle 3 fingers used for support. The long and slender pinky probably for grasping items. The thumb was like a spike for fighting or gathering food. Iguanodon. Jaxartosaurus is closely related to other crested hadrosaurs like Corythosaurus and Parasaurolophus. Jaxartosaurus was a duck-billed hadrosaur that lived in Asia during the Cretaceous time period. Ja- like other hadrosaurs, Jaxartosaurus ate plants. Jaxartosaurus had a big helmet-like crest that was probably used for showing off, making noise, and recognizing members of its own kind. Jaxartosaurus.